Yo,
Yo, what up, man?
Corporate Coke and Smack is back in the building, episode 202. Shout out to PG 202 DC. You know what I mean?
Hey, bro, I just want to say, like, yeah, I missed you, man. I missed you, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I just been feeling like, yo, it's so much on my mind, and I just love when we get our stuff off on the pod. So, bro, I gotta give you your flowers. Thank you for being a great co-host. I want to start off just like that.
Yeah, I appreciate you as well. We made some slight logistical changes to the podcast today off air, but it's going to be better for our content distribution to our listeners and to our followers. So definitely stay tuned. Don't forget to go check out the YouTube
Oh yeah.
CC Smack Podcast or type in search Corporate Cook and Smack Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and be sure to give us a 5-star rating. We should appreciate all of our listeners and anyone who's sharing the show with their friends and families because, we use this podcast as our voice to the world. We're not celebrities, but we damn sure have some great content and some actionable items that we talk about week in and week out. So we appreciate y'all for subscribing on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Podbean, and also the website ccsmackpodcast.com.
Hey, and speaking of sharing the podcast, if you're interested in me and I've actually responded to you, don't listen to this podcast because I'm tired of y'all complaining. All right, I ain't got time for that. All right, like you just got to understand, like this is my playground.
This is business, right? This is business.
Yeah, you can't come into my playground and start to predict stuff. Like it don't work like that.
Right.
I had this one chick, and look, I'm gonna say it like this: if I'm talking about a woman, it's all fictional. That's what I'm gonna say. It's all fictional.
It's all right.
Ain't nothing real. But you know what? I'm not gonna say nothing, yo. I don't want to get no trouble, man. I want to go ahead and just give thanks to God for allowing us to be here, because we could be so many other places in this time.
Yo, it snowed last week, yo, and I hydroplaned. I could have been about here.
Bro, we thank God for you, man. We thank God for your life. We thank God for all of our listeners. Now let's start the show. Now, there is something different about today's show, right? So today's episode of CC Smack is actually sponsored by Arome. So who is Arome? Arome is actually a company that is designed to care for your largest organ. Do you know what your largest organ is?
Yes, it's my skin.
Oh, I really didn't know that. I thought it was my dick. But largest organ is your skin. You are 100% right. And Arome provides products that not only moisturize your skin, but also give you nutrient-rich ingredients. So go ahead and show some love to Arome. When you go to shop Arome, that's SHOPAROME.com. Make sure you let them know that the good folks at Corporate Coke and Smack sent you. And you do this by using the code CCSMACK15. That is CCSMACK15. And you can save 15% if you do that.
Yeah, it's cold outside. So be sure to stay moisturized, and you can do that with Arome. They are the products you need and you want to keep that moisturization through the wintertime until we can get weather. So definitely.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Danielle. Happy birthday, Danielle. She's a fan of the show. You know Danielle. You introduced Danielle to me.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think Danielle got a lot of hoes, yo. She must have a lot of hoes because I sent her some money, right? It's a birthday. She put a little cash app on a little, I'm 30 fun. I sent her $31 on some like, yo, happy birthday. I still haven't gotten a response like, oh, thanks. So I'm pretty sure she has a lot of hoes. So she's probably going through some things like,
maybe.
Somebody probably sent like a higher multiple. So whenever you get a chance, Danielle, happy birthday. Get back to me. But happy birthday.
I guess she said the biggest bag, get a thank you.
Hey, that's how it be sometimes. I posted something on my stories like,
you got to do the Mark Andrews. You got to sprinkle a little bit more on top.
Hey, I posted something on my stories. Shout out to Russ. Russ was one of the people that I talked to who was talking about, and he said something that was just so profound, man. Russ is a young dude. How old is Russ?
24, 25, one of those two.
Yeah. Let me tell you what my man Russ said. So I posted a screenshot of me shooting my shot and getting rejected, right? I got rejected. It just is what it is. And my man Russ, he laughed at it, and I said, yo, I'm gonna get back, I'm gonna keep on shooting. And he said something. He said, in this game we're playing, all you need is one shot. And I thought about it. I was like, yo, that's so profound. Now, of course, we were talking about women, right? Because you just need to find the one. But if you can also apply that to your life, right? Like, you don't need to shoot 100% from the field.
No.
You can get one shot. You switch that joint and you can live off that. You truly can.
Open so many doors up, so many opportunities.
You truly can.
And that's major in a sense, because many times right now in the current state that we're in, so many people are looking to be in so many various avenues, not knowing that all it takes is one of those for a breakthrough to occur. And you can really set yourself up for some major success where you don't have to spread yourself thin as much, and you can really become an expertise or more of an expertise in that lane that opportunity or that door opens for you. And
talk to him, man. Talk to him. And the chick that actually curved me, she good. You know what I found? I found out I was going through her pics. See, I jumped out the window because I saw she was in the Explorer. She was in the Explorer page, right? So I jumped out the window, started rapping to her. But after she curved me, I was like, yo, let me see who this chick is that she actually curving me like this. And bro, she's like a 60-yarder. She can outkick Justin Tucker. Her feet wide as I don't know. I seen her. So all I'm saying is I'm good on that. She rejected me, but after further review, I'm like, I don't want her little wide foot self anyway, bro. I'm good on that. Yeah.
Right. Hey, look here, man. You say Danielle got the hoes. It sound like you got them too. But
bro. Honestly, you know the vibes with me. You know what I'm about to do. I'm really all about business this year.
Really locked in. No, he really locked in right now.
I'm really locked in. And look, I want to say something here, right? I was talking to my sister about a big decision I was going to make. And she mentioned something about the taxes, right? Like, well, what if they catch you? Like, the tax jurisdiction and this and that and blah, 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 blah. And it dawned on me, something dawned on me, right? And I wrote this down because when I thought about it, I was like, yo, I got to get this out to our Cobra Coke and Smack family. You feel me? So when it comes to business, I would rather undo something I did than miss out on an opportunity because of what I didn't do. You feel me? Like, so many times you sit there and you say, oh, what if? Oh, I don't want this to happen. Oh, I don't want that to happen. When in actuality, your idea is not on the radar of, these of the government, right? If I say, hey, I want to start making $100 a month, I'm going to start that. Right. I don't care if I don't have an LLC. Why? Because at the end of the day, I would rather, hey, when I start making 1,000 or,
I think so often people focus on that LLC formation before they start. Yeah, and if you start small and then scale up, you literally don't LLC quite yet.
And I'm going to be open about this. Like, I don't care if I get in trouble, honestly, because it's the great resignation, right? So what my sister was talking about was she was talking about me getting money because I might be doing some business in Nigeria, right? And of course, you got to think about taxes and all this stuff. And in Nigeria, you ain't thinking about taxes. I ain't thinking about that. And my sister was bringing this up, and I'm like, why would I not do what I want to do because of something that honestly is foreign? Like, people in Nigeria ain't worrying about no taxes. I'm not worried about that. Now, if I start pulling in 7-figure deals in Nigeria, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take care of that business, right? But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to sit here and wait and let opportunities pass me by, right? And I remember a story. I remember a story from when I was in 7th grade. I came to this country when I was 11. And when I first came to this country, I was a kid. I had this Nigerian accent. Nobody liked me. I didn't get no girls. It was terrible, bro. So everyone used to make fun of me. And all I remember was there was a lot of order in Nigeria when I was coming up, right? So if you had to use the bathroom, You would raise your hand. Once the teacher calls you, you say, hey, I need to use the bathroom. If the teacher's in the middle of something and he doesn't want you to go, you have to wait. Wow. That's just how it is. And that's how it is in Nigeria. So I came here and I remember my first week. I'm this kid. I don't have any friends. People making fun of me. My mom used to buy me the sweatpants with the cuffs on the bottoms. And I definitely didn't have any name brand shoes at that time. So I was having a hard time. So I had to use the bathroom. And, you know, I raised the teacher was talking, so I didn't want to interrupt. I raised my hand. I don't think the teacher saw me. And in Nigeria, if you start yelling out like, yo, I got to use the bathroom, oh, they're going to beat you. Like they'll use a cane and spank you. Like I'm being dead serious. So to me, I'm thinking it's the same thing, right? So long story short, I pissed on myself. Yeah, so I was the kid that just came from Nigeria. Now everybody's calling me the pissy boy.
Pissy boy, straight up. Yeah. You like the market right now. You pissy.
Imagine that. Imagine that. My fear for breaking out of the norms that I was used to caused me to have a terrible middle school experience. Right? When, if anything, if I would have just ran out of there, I could have pissed outside. Because the thing is, in Nigeria, I mean, most of the times you stop on the road and you just take a piss. Like that's common, you know. But because I was just so scared, I froze and I actually pissed on myself. You know, and I look at that in my adult life and I'm like, there are a lot of adults that are pissing on themselves today. They're scared to move. They know they could step out. All they got to do is just get that motion, just move a little bit. But they're stuck, whether it's you might have a spouse who's keeping you stuck. That happens. You might have a job that's keeping you stuck. That happens. You might have family that's even keeping you stuck. Yeah. There's so many little crutches that keep you stuck. And I'm trying to tell you, if you keep staying stuck, you're going to piss. You might even shit on yourself. I'll tell you that much. So, hey, I just want to implore everyone. It's 2022. Time is of the essence. We've seen so many people pass. Rest in peace to all the celebrities that have passed. So many people that are young passing. And all I keep thinking about is, yo, I don't want to pass away and feel like I left things on the table. So I'm going for it this year, bro. I'm telling you. That's my little spiel.
Yo, you got to. And the thing about it is that nothing is guaranteed in life. None of us know expiration.
At all. And
I read something yesterday, come doing a 75 hard. It requires minimum 10 pages of reading daily.
Okay.
And it was a book, How Successful People Grow by John C. Maxwell. And basically it was saying that God's gift to us is potential. Our gift to God is to develop it. And that struck me because
there's a scripture behind that too.
Yeah, that struck me because we have these abilities and these skills, and we live in a lazy country. I'm just put it like that. We live in a lazy country, and so many people believe because they have these God-given talents that they can just basically the talent will take them to that successful level. When in actuality, that God-given talent is the foundation, but you still have to develop it to get to that successful level. And that's your gift back to God. And I was like, yo, you know, it just hit me because we hear these stories about, you know, certain athletes who could have been done this. You know, you probably got people from your childhood. You're like, yo, they used to be so good in this class and that class, and now they in unfortunate situations often and frequently because those people don't develop the talents that God gave them.
Yeah, it's a scripture in the gospel about that, right? Where the master gives different servants certain talents, right? And you got the one who he went and dug a little ditch, threw that joint in there, And the master comes back. It's like, yo, what you got for me? And he digs it up, brings it back out. And the master was pissed, and it applies to us. You feel me? Like, we have the skills, bro. Like me and you was talking off of this podcast, and we was talking about how we needed to do certain things for the podcast. And a revelation came to us like, yo, we have different set of skills that we can just, if we use our brains and say, okay, well, he does this well, and let that person just rock out with that, we'll be great. And so many people have things that they're doing well, but they're not rocking out with it. They're not taking that leap of faith.
Not rocking out with it, not taking a leap of faith, scared of failure. Sometimes some people are scared of what success looks like and how to change their lives. It's a multitude of things. But what I would say regarding that if you have a talent, take it serious, because trust me, there's someone else in this world who wish that they had a God-given talent that you were given. So whether you can sing, athletic, you're great with numbers, you great with science, whatever it is, be grateful for it, but also make sure that you're using it to your ability so that you can create the lifestyle that you would like, not only for yourself, but for your family. Because we see it now, and there's so many people out here that's, in unfortunate situations that themselves, they're looking for a breakthrough. And they're like, yo, how can I get to where this person is?
Now, I hate to cut you off, but you just made a really important point, right? How can I get to where this person is? And it's good to be motivated, right? But don't you think it can get a little dangerous sometimes? Because we can see people tell us their stories, but we have to understand that everybody has a different shoe size. Like you can't run the same pace that I'm running if you're not gifted with the same things that I'm gifted. And we all have different gifts.
Facts. And I agree with that we all have our own race. And, I kind of make it a parallel to like running events where, all right, if someone's running, let's just say they run like anything over a 400 meter, 400 meter and under the sprint, 800 and up, you need some pace. You need to know how to manage your pace.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're running these mid-distance to distance races, if you go out trying to run someone else who's faster than you's pace, you're going to burn out.
Yep.
But you have to strategically run your own pace, because at the end of the day, whether it's a half mile, whether it's a half mile, a mile, half marathon, no matter what, if you run your race, you're going to reach the finish line. And I think that's so applicable to life, is that you can't run someone else's race, because you are liable to burn out. You're liable to misuse resources. You're liable to expose yourself to too many losses. You're essentially trying to live someone else's life.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to do. And we're in this get money society right now. And I'm for it, definitely, but you have to go about it in an appropriate manner. You got to go about it in an appropriate manner.
Bro, and when you're trying to run someone else's race, the failures hit you differently, right? Because we all know failures are important. Like it's inevitable too. Nobody wins 100% of the time.
Correct.
But if I'm envying this person, I'm saying, hey, that person did that, I want to do that. The first L that I take, I'm gonna be like, well, he ain't take no L. Why did I take the L? I'm gonna be super discouraged. I'm gonna feel like, it's something wrong with me. This guy who is running his race and I'm trying to emulate his thing, I don't know the behind the scenes. I don't know all the L's that he took behind the scenes.
Right.
So it's a dangerous thing. And like my guy Josh said, you cannot run someone else's race. Simple as that.
You can't. You simply can't. And it's also one of those things, because when you run someone else's race, you don't know what their preparation was.
Facts.
So that's something else to remember, is that when you're seeing on social media the various successes or the various goals that certain people are accomplishing, you don't know what their preparation was to get there.
BBL. That ain't real. You think Shorty going to the gym 20? That's a BBL, man.
It's a BBL.
Yeah. Facts. You think, bro, it's so many people that's capping online, man. But that's a different subject. You know,
Yeah, we're not even going to get into that. But just run your race. When you see people accounts, they showing their accounts and their investment gains, you're like, how can I get there? How can I get there? They at some point increase their income, they increase their contributions to their investment account, whether it's real estate investment, stocks, crypto, into their businesses.
They took risks.
Yeah, they took risks and also took time. It didn't come overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to think about that, and you have to create your own timeline and say, okay, I'm not there now, but how and what amount of time can I get there through what actions? So it all comes down to your actions at the end of the day. It all comes down to execution. Your actions equal execution.
I like that. Let's transition into market talk, right? I lost a lot of money in the market today and last week. It's been. Hey, Joe Byron.
Yeah, the Rivian boy is not looking too good right now.
Hey, man, it's been a tough market.
The last 5 days, Rivian's down $21.28, which equates to $20.72%. So it's down a fifth.
Hey,
you ever down to fifth in college? It ain't feel too good.
Hey, cryptos aren't doing too well.
They're calling for Bitcoin to hit the mid 30s right now. I think it's down to it was around 39K today. It's a lot. It's a lot going on right now. And I think we're also still in that transition where we still don't have big institutional money in yet. And also boomers are still kind of hesitant. The majority of boomers are kind of hesitant to move into crypto versus stocks because they grew up they know stocks and real estate.
It's not going to get any better in terms of the adoption by boomers because boomers are close to retirement, if not retired.
Right. Well, the chance that or the sneaking, how can I say this? The hidden hand is the children and grandchildren of the boomers. So if they can somehow convince them and say, hey, my crypto went up 70% in 3 weeks. Once you put a little bit in here, once you give it a shot.
They can't do it because
I'm not saying it'll be heavy. I'm not saying it'll be heavy allocation, but it's like, yo, you getting S&P, we doing what? Last year, what did it 20? Was it 21?
29, 28.
20s. Yeah, high 20s, excuse me, high 20s, correct. So you tell me I can do almost triple that in 3 weeks.
Let me stop you right there, right? If you're talking to a boomer, they don't like volatility. That's the biggest thing, right? So a millennial or Gen Zer can say, well, even if you buy now, if you just hold for a year or two, you're going to be up. Boomers don't even know if they're going to be here in a year or two. You see all the stuff going on with health crisis and stuff going on in the country. They're not thinking about longer term holds. They're more so if that money is going to dip, I don't want to put it in there simply because I am not working. I'm retired. I like taking my little cruises, my vacations. I don't want to be checking my phone every 5 minutes. The only time they checking their phone is when the grandchildren send them videos.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But I believe that with more adoption of cryptocurrencies, it's going to become more, the normalcy is going to increase. Therefore, it may create a possibility for boomers, or even as more wealth management companies are allowing their clients to invest into cryptocurrency. Now it's like, okay, I can do this through my financial advisor. I don't have to go to an alternate platform or subsidiary to make these cryptocurrency transactions.
Well, I still stand on what I said in episode 201. I just feel as though Bitcoin is going to be here. They're going to be here, but
yeah, that's the most notable cryptocurrency for sure.
But I don't think they're going to be the premier cryptocurrency moving forward, because I think Bitcoin was the first to do it, but it's not always about being the first to do it. You know? Yeah. So
who has the most utility?
Exactly.
Like right now, we're seeing DeFi Kingdom that play the earn game, and they're using Joel, that cryptocurrency. So, and I believe also that more play to earn games will become popular. NFT gaming, that crypto gaming, that's going to become more popular, not only this year but next year as well. So, just think about you're gamifying cryptocurrencies. Like that's what this generation, that's what's known that this generation latches on to easier versus then just making it like your typical investment. Like, all right, you can play a game and actually earn cryptocurrency, which equates to money.
Yeah. No, good stuff, man. So I want to address something, because right now prices are going down in the market, and you might be thinking it's a great time to get in, right? Prices are low, you can get in, prices are going to bounce back, but you could ultimately be catching a falling knife, right? What do I mean by that? You could buy something and it continues to dip because it's just a bad investment. That could be the case, right? But I want to address some investor fears, right? So if you visualize a falling knife, right? Visualize a knife falling on you. What's the first thing you're going to do? Your mind is going to go, okay, I need to get out of the way.
You step back, right?
But if you've been watching Detroit Urban Survival Tactics, you might have a little, you might know how to reverse that.
Facts.
But no, see, your first instinct will be, I need to get out of the way. Now, if you are a professional in the kitchen and you're not scared of knives, you're probably like, oh, all I need to do is just grab by the handle. So not grab it by the sharp, just grab by the handle. And now you're in power. And it's the same way with investing. There are opportunities. There are opportunities to catch an upswing, right? But you have to do your research and figure out what the handle is. How do you figure these things out? I think some of the best indicators could be technical analysis, right? Seeing price behaviors, price patterns, figuring out, okay, you know what? This is a handle. I see where I can, hold on to this and get minimal damage. And now when you have the knife, now you're the attacker. You can do what you need to do. So investors, don't just blindly walk into something and say, oh, because it's down, it's going to go up. No, do some type of analysis. I think the best analysis would be technical analysis, but you can also do fundamental analysis, of course. Like if something is that, like, for example, there's a chip maker. I think it's in China. The ticker is TSMC. They make chips for Apple. Their stock has been booming. Why? Because a fundamental analysis would have said, there's a global chip shortage. So whoever got the chips got the dip. You feel me? Like
TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturer.
Taiwan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a fundamental analysis would be like, whoever's got the chips, yeah, they're probably going to flourish. So make some type of analysis, please. Because I've heard this before, like, oh, yo, this is down. Oh, it's definitely going to bounce back. Like, it is what it is. Make some type of analysis. Don't just look at the market and say, oh, just because it's red, I'm just going to dump all my money in. You could be latching on to a falling knife and you don't know how to deal with the falling knife. Yeah.
So for me, I would say the best thing you can do is to stay in tune with what's happening in the world. That's the best. That's one of the fundamentals to being a good investor, is staying in tune to what's going on in the world. Because when you see different events occurring in the media, you simply need to find what companies are involved and how they're affected. And that's really like just your general basis on if you should invest or not invest in them. So like you said, if it's a chip shortage, we got cars. It's not gonna be as many car sales. Why? It's not new cars being produced. That's why the used cars are so high now. You got
Facts.
the logistical situation with the ports. So you seeing that the grocery store, sometime you go there, some of your favorite items on the shelf because they're backed up. It's a CDL shortage as well, if you don't know, if you haven't been keeping up. So even when the items get to the port, we don't have enough truck drivers to get them, because ultimately just remember, every item arrives to a store by truck. That's how important trucking is. That's the backbone of logistics. So we got a CDL shortage. We have a lack of drivers who can move these items. So listening to and it doesn't even have to be watching the news. You can sign up for various publications, New York Times, Barron's, Business Insider. Like there's various online publications and outlets who have new articles every day about things that are going on in the world.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. That's great information. And in case you're wondering what is moving the markets lower, right now, everyone's worried about inflation. Everyone's worried about rising rates. Inflation is here. It is here. Rates are ticking up, not at an alarming pace, but they are ticking up. I think it'll be a nice time to lock in a rate if you're looking at buying a house. Right now, of course, you have to contend with price wars. You still have low supply and high demand. So you do have to contend with price wars, but it would be a good time to lock in a rate in terms of a house.
Yeah, I mean, they're projecting it to go up a couple hikes this year, 2022. So, but also remember, it's a thing where if you get a fixed rate, I mean, you're locking it in. It's a risk to get a variable rate mortgage. So the fact is, you know, if rates continue to go higher, well, your rate is going to move with the market rate.
You should not be getting anything variable right now.
Right.
The only time you should get something variable is if you literally have the money to pay it off sitting somewhere, right? Yeah. Because you could lock in that lower rate and then you could play a timing game, right? So I love getting exotic with my payments. I love that, right? Like I love when I go out with friends and everybody's like, you know, ordering whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take care of that. Yeah, I'll put that on my credit card. I'll take care of that. I'll get the points. Same way where it's like, if you have a large lump payment and maybe it's a house, but you have the money up front. Yeah, get the variable. The variable is going to be a lower interest rate. So now nobody knows exactly when in terms of the timing of these rate increases, but you could be riding this lower interest rate for the next 6 months, 7 months, and you're making money. That lump sum that you have, you could maybe employ that into something that is highly liquid and make some money off of that. And then when rates increase, rates are not going to shoot up. It's going to be a gradual step up, right? So it's like, it could be a year and a half before your variable rate actually is a bad investment.
Right, because lately they've been moving it by a quarter.
Yeah.
With each rate.
Yeah. So, I mean, these are some strategies you can employ, but what I will say is you got to know yourself. Before you can invest, you got to know yourself, because if you don't have that discipline, you can have all the strategies in the world, but it's not going to work for you. Strategies require discipline. You might hear something I'm saying like, yo, take advantage of a variable interest rate. If you touching the money that's supposed to be locked down to pay off this when the interest rate goes up, now interest rates go up and you're out of luck. So you have to know yourself before you get into any type of strategy, whether it's a budgeting strategy, investing strategy, saving strategy. You have to have discipline.
Gotta have discipline in any investment, honestly. But
yeah,
we're playing on the variable rates though. That's a tricky game,
bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you. my student loans are on a variable rate. I'm gonna keep it real with you. So let me tell you what I did. Before the pandemic, I wanted to pay off my student loans, but Citizens Bank had a promotion. They said, if you refinance 30,000 or more, they'll give you $500. I looked at the rates and I said, variable rates right now, I had federal student loans, right? I was paying 6% on my federal student loans. A variable rate was 3%. I said, I'm gonna do that. So I refinanced my student loans. So I went from 6% to 3%. It's a variable rate now, right? And then I got back 500. I don't know what I did with the 500. I probably just splurged it because it's free money to me. And then right now, I think my rate has inched up to like 3.1%, but it's still lower than what I was paying on a federal loan. And in my head, as soon as rates start to tick up and it starts creeping towards that 4 or 5%, that's when I know, okay, I got to pay this off. So that's what I'm doing.
Hey, man, right now I'm on pause because Big Biden said he pausing mine again till May. So variable or fixed rate, I don't care. We'll revisit this in May.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is Biden is setting up a lot of people for failure, right? Because if you're not gonna cancel these things, I don't think you need to just draw this out because you're just setting people up for failure.
Yeah, he's just pushing it back and back and back. Yes, it's nuts.
Exactly. It would, and look, I am not saying like I want him to cancel everything. Trust me, right? But my thing is, I think it would have been an easier rollout with the new year, especially now that we were thinking about getting this tax returns and all that stuff. You push this thing out to May, summertime, man. Everybody, it's summertime, man. Ain't nobody worry about no student loans. So it's been like almost 2 years since people had to pay. So I think Joe Biden is setting people up for failure, man. He might as well cancel it. But I don't see that. I don't see that happening.
America ain't built like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see that happening.
It'll be messing up the wealth gap widening if they cancel the student loans. That's just where it really come down to.
Yeah. I wanted to make everyone aware. So they did open up they did let you know when you can start filing your taxes. So I have this written down, as of January 27th, you can start filing your taxes for 2021. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to have all your documents. Sometimes your brokerages, they might start sending them out late January, so you might get them early February. If you're in a rush to do your taxes and you forget about a document, it depends on how much money is in that document, right? Like if you have cap gains of like 20 grand or something like that, and you forget about that, yeah, you're gonna have to file an amendment. So I would say just think back to what you did last year. A lot of y'all was flipping crypto left and right. You are going to have cap gains. So you might want to think about that. And it's still time to make some amendments so that your taxes could be a little bit lower, right? So a lot of your retirement plans, you can still make contributions for 2021. I think the cutoff is in March.
Roth IRA is tax day. Yeah, April.
Yeah, Roth IRA is tax day. So you can still make contributions to that. Same with your HSA as well. So if you are looking at a large tax bill, or you just want to maybe do something that could help balance out some of the cap gains that you had, there are some options. But I will say, in terms of taxes, the tax deadline was pushed to April 18th. And if you're going to get a refund, you don't want to extend that. I know people who they love pushing their taxes out, but the government is supposed to give them a refund. And you're giving the government, you've already given the government a free loan, but now when you're just lazy and you just want to extend it, you're just giving them the cherry on top. So make sure you look into your status. If you owe, hey, I don't think the IRS interest rate is that high. So these are strategies you can employ. If you owe the IRS, but you got this investment, you got your mans who is putting you on to an investment. He's telling you like, hey, I can give you 10% returns, and he's credible, right? If you owe the IRS, but you're making 10% returns, you might want to think about that. Like, well, let me extend that to October, because from that time, April to October, I'm gonna be flipping that money. I'm gonna be doing my little investment, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in stocks, whatever it is, so you want to evaluate that.
Facts. That's definitely a quality strategy. But just make sure that the IRS don't come beating down your door now. Like, if you get a final notice, pay that joint.
Oh yeah. I mean, they'll come get you. They'll come get you for sure. So you don't want to play around with the IRS. Man, I got to call out my homeboy. Because it's a lesson that I think people forget. If I hit you up and I say, yo, something happened to me, I'm good for it. I'm gonna give you $50 a week. All you gotta do is let me use your Uber profile, or let me use your Turo profile, or whatever it is. Whatever money that comes, I'm taking that, but you're responsible for the taxes for it. So you have to, it happens all the time. A lot of people will come to you and say, oh, bro, we're friends. Oh, can I just use this? And I'll kick you some bread. And it seems good in the moment until you get that tax bill, because they're an independent contractor. So they're not accounting for taxes on the earnings, right? But it's under your name. So now you get this tax bill, you get your man's up, you're like, yo, you owe me $6,000. I have a tax bill for $6,000. You owe me that. And they're like, what are you talking about? I was kicking you $50 a month. And you sitting there like, nah, that doesn't equate to $6K. So be mindful of that. I had a homeboy, had a situation, and I'm praying for him because he got a tax bill. He got a tax bill. Yeah.
Hey, give him a fair warning now.
Hey, he got a tax bill. And I think he trying to get married too. So wifey gonna kick his ass when she find out.
Hey, you gotta cut the wedding budget for real.
You gotta cut the wedding budget because you did something stupid like that, man. Hey, all you gotta do is be prudent with your deals. And I think ultimately you want to be mindful of you want to be mindful of who has access to your personal profiles. There's so many different things. You might have a crew and you guys are flipping homes, but you guys don't set up the proper entity. And now you're flipping homes and it has to come under somebody. So who has ownership of the property? Right. You guys get a property, it's under one person's name. Y'all flip it, y'all make $50,000. Great job. You split it, everyone gets an even cut, but then you get that tax bill.
Yeah.
So it happens. It happens. We gotta be smart about this.
Very much so.
Yeah. Oh man, bro. What else can we talk about, man? Do you think we're in a bear market?
Nah, we're not in a bear market. Just
some people might. Hey, the way people complaining because
what was it? Pullback is 5, correction is 10, bear is 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we're not in a bear market yet. We might be headed to one possibly for crypto, but no, I think it's the stock is just it's the January blues. That's all. It's gonna ramp back up.
Yeah, and I would say now is the time where you should sit back. We're 10 days into the new year. Things are moving, things are shaking. But I don't think you need to panic. I don't think you need to sell out of your portfolio. I don't even think you need to go crazy and start buying stuff. I just don't. I think you just sit tight. Whatever you've done from last year that's carried over into this year, just sit tight and let it do what it do. I'm looking at my brokerage account and I'm like, bro, I'm losing a lot of money. But I still believe in the companies, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm gonna be sick when this thing bounces back up, because it's gonna bounce back up. Because I've done my research, and it might not be this year, but if it's next year, hey, I can be patient. But I will be sick because I'm I don't know about you. I've done an exercise where I've looked at the things that I've sold in the past year and looked at what they've been doing. I was sick, bro.
You should have held.
I should have held. Yeah, that's what she said. I should have held, but I let it go. Yeah. So hey, man, that's just a word of advice. What else we got on the slate today, man? Before you think about leaving your job, a lot of companies had a great year last year, and a lot of companies have been talking about bigger bonuses, bigger pay increases. I believe it'll be worth your while to wait until you get your bonus and you get your merit increase before you leave your job, right? Because a lot of jobs they're posting record profits, right? Last year was a really good year. Look at the markets, look at the S&P 500. Look, it was a really good year. So if you leave, you might have put in sweat equity and you're missing out on some of the benefits of that sweat equity. So I would encourage everyone to just hold out until like February, March, wait until the dust settles. Some bonuses do have clawback clauses. That's where if you leave, they could say, yo, bring that back, but
bring it back.
All that,
where you going?
Yeah, but I mean, you just got to read the fine print. I know sometimes the bonuses could be good and you're just in a rush, but just read the fine print. Make sure you understand what you get yourself into.
Facts.
Bro, I think we didn't gem them out today, man.
Episode 202 in 2022. Baltimore, Corporate Coke and Smack. Hey, also shout out to our guys. I'm over at Coach Class Podcast. Hey, they had the feature in the voyage.
Yes, sir.
Rick and Mike, we see you.
Hey, I'm so happy for them boys, man.
Facts.
I sound like an old head. I'm so happy for them boys. But nah, those are my guys.
I grow up since little boys.
Hey, those are my guys. Hey, matter of fact, we've been in this game longer than they have, right? But remember what we talked about in terms of running your own race.
Yep.
I'm so happy for them because I don't envy them. I celebrate them. I look at them as an extension of what we have going on, right? Because at the end of the day, I could call them up and I can get on their platform. They can call us up, they can get on our platform, and we can pick each other up. It's not a competition. We out here eating, and if they win, I win. If I win, they win. That's exactly how I look at it, man. So shout out to the Coach Class Pod. If you are not hip, you can check all your platforms, Coach Class Pod, you know the vibes.
Facts.
Oh, and make sure you check out ccsmackpodcast.com. We got a lot of merch up. You can also find the latest podcast episodes. And just make sure you support us by visiting the Apple Podcast platform, because that's how we get tangible feedback that we can use to get more sponsors. And the more sponsors that we get, the more money that we get in our pockets. And the more money that we get in our pockets, the more we can do for you. And speaking of what we can do for you, I want to give away some merch. So if you're listening to this, if you go to ccsmackpodcast.com and you find anything, whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is, let me know. You can hit me up at LongLiveTOBE, or you can hit up the podcast, Instagram or Twitter. That is CC Smack Podcast. Let me know, and I will go ahead and purchase that. So the first person who comes to me and says, yo, I saw this on the website, can I get that? I got you.
Hey, you heard it. So once it's released, get to it. Don't waste time. You gotta be that first person.
Hey, where can the people find you, bro?
Josh D Lifestyle on Twitter and Instagram.
Nice.
Where can they find you, bro?
I can't tell them where they can find me. I'm gonna be starting next week. It's gonna be an interesting month or two. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm taking a step forward in my life, and I'm doing some amazing things. And I will let you in after I do what I say I'm gonna do. You know, I feel like you can't count your chickens before they hatch. So nothing is in motion yet. So I'm not gonna spill the beans, but you give me a month or two, yeah, we're gonna talk about it as a family.
We outside, baby. CC Smack episode 202.
Hey, episode 202. We talked about a lot. Make sure you're telling your friends about CC Smack. We love y'all. We love the support, and continue to stay blessed and stay safe out here, man.
Facts. Stay warm, y'all.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Peace.